From that moment, the mist's task changed. It no longer waited for the swamp to heal, but sought to heal itself by removing the living bearers of its poison. Whispers began to spread. The fog took more than sorrow. The hollow had a guardian, an unseen force whose mercy was measured in lives lost. The mist came once a year, drifting from the hollow for a handful of days before retreating into the darkness from which it had come. The kingdom's end was swift and brutal. A neighboring realm, watching Manzpoucio's brilliance fade into complacency, struck without warning. Armies poured over the high walls like a breaking tide. Iron clashed in the narrow streets. Flames licked the stone towers until they cracked and fell, and the cries of the dying tangled with the roar of fire. Within days, the grand avenues lay silent. The royal court was scattered to the wind, its halls blackened, its vaults broken open. All records of the swamp, the festival, and the kingdom's strange bond with the mist were cast into the pyres, their ash scattered to the river. Years passed. The swamp, once guarded and celebrated, began to choke on its own stillness. The air grew heavy with pale fog, a fog that did not rise with the sun. What little life remained, crooked trees, darting fish, low reeds, withered in the damp. The ground was soft enough to take a man's boot whole if he lingered, and sometimes there was a pull beneath, as if something down in the muck knew his name. One by one, wanderers and traders came through from distant lands. They saw a dying marsh shrouded in silence, its waters dull and unreflective. None knew of the kingdom's splendor, nor of the festival that had once lit the night. They only felt the weight of the place, and so they called it Hollowmire, for its emptiness and its pitiless beginnings. The new settlers drained the waters with patient labor, laying channels through the mire. Where reeds once shivered, they raised walls and thatched roofs. Where the ground had soured beneath stagnant pools, they turned the soil for gardens. Smoke from their hearths replaced the curling swamp vapors. The sound of hammers, saws, and children's laughter crept into the air where once there had been only the lap of water against mud. When the work was done, the people gathered in the square they had built with their own hands. They spoke of a name that would not bind them to the ghosts of the marsh, but carry them into a gentler future. They chose Hollowmere, the dried marsh, remade. That night, lanterns swung in the windows and music spilled into the streets. But as the last of the cheering faded and the town settled into its first sleep under its new name, the fog rose from the riverbanks. It moved like breath between the houses, tasting the air, curling beneath doorsills. The poison had never left. It was patient, and it would wait.